Everybody, you've reached the Delaney Cowboys Certified Correct Playbook.
Winners win, losers try to avoid losing. This is what the Cowboys have running it right now, losers. And the truth of the matter is, they're losers at their own game. Molly, you put up the stat, and I think that's the beginning and end of the argument. It's over. It's time. Unless you want another decade of losing, move on. The Jason Garrett era has to be over.
A while that Jason Garrett didn't need to be the coach, he needed to go. Scott Linehan, take him with you. We
have enabled Jerry Jones low these many years. You're an enabler because you guys show up and support and make excuses. I understand why, because you feel helpless otherwise. But in fact, Cowboys fans, the strength in their numbers, the fact that this was the primetime game enables Jerry Jones. What does it enable him to do? And this is really my point. Jerry Jones needs to recuse himself. He needs to remove himself. He's still on the Cowboys. But guys, it's not just Jimmy Johnson. It was Bill Parcells. We debated this last week. If you have a big personality, a coach that wins, then the attention goes from Jerry Jones's radio segments and all the waves he makes.
Like it is 7.
Cowboys, Jerry Jones, just remove yourself. Just take a step back. The Cowboys will be fine. They got a good defense. When the line gets healthy, they're going to be good. This is the embodiment of mediocrity. And you look at last night, and that's in the O-line, lead receiver, running back, everything. It's going to come down to, if they can't win, quarterback or coach, which to me means you're scapegoating everyone else, because I can tell you right now, it's coach. It's coach. Like, maybe Dak Prescott isn't the answer long term. I think he is, maybe he's not, but I know Jason Garrett isn't.
Jones knows who he is, Stephen Jones knows who he is, and they know that he's their puppet, right? No matter what I tell you, no matter what your marching orders are for me, you're going to do those things. So it's going to be whenever they get tired of Jason Garrett, whenever they feel like Jason Garrett has had enough time, they are no longer evaluating him, because you know who he is. He's an average football coach. This team has been average under his tenure, and that's who he is. So for
I don't look at this game and say, man, if Dak wasn't the quarterback, they would win. I look at it and I say, if this play calling was just a little bit better, they win.
Judging a guy after 1 year, or a guy in his contract season having a bunch of sacks and making a bunch of plays, because I'm like, what have you done for a complete body work over the last couple, 2-3 years? Mm-hmm. So looking at these guys, Jason Garrett, he's an 8-8 coach. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
I think he's got to go if you want to see a difference in Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, what have you done since you had that?
this way, Jason Garrett should be fired. And Jason Garrett should not be fired because of that one decision. Jason Garrett should be fired because he never should have been a head coach in the first place. As far as I'm concerned, he was considered a golden boy as an offensive coordinator. He was getting paid the same amount as the head coach, Wade Phillips, at the time. If you will remember, he's been the coach for the Dallas Cowboys for 9 years. He's been to 2 playoff appearances. He's won 1 playoff game, and they call this America's team. Last time I checked, that absence of production usually would get you out of a job outside of the city of Cincinnati, who still inexplicably employs Marvin Lewis. Outside of that,
better than the Dallas Cowboys. They don't want to pay top dollar for a coach. They like when Jerry Jones is the alpha. Mm-hmm. He's playing puppet with the head coach. This is why, and I've been saying this for 15 years, Jimmy Johnson ain't in the Cowboys Ring of Honor. Rightfully so. Tony Romo's going to be in there, and a lot of other players that have accomplished a lot. Why is Jimmy Johnson not in? Because he won 2 championships. People gave him the credit.
Yeah.
And Jerry Jones will never put himself in that spot.
Right, weigh in on all that.
For me, I agree with Stephen A. in this sense about Jason Garrett. He hasn't produced. He hasn't done what you're supposed to do to be America's team or to just keep a job in the NFL. What that play showed me was comfort, right? It's comfortable because you can be 2-2, you can be 8-8, which we've seen him be so many times, and keep your job and have support of the ownership, have support of the fan base, because they always think it's going to get greater later. That's not the case here. It's
because clearly Jason Garrett has this job still because of his relationship with Jerry Jones. There is no other reason that he's the head coach. Now, I am not. Production is repetitive year after year after year. There's underachievement all over the place. And this man gets to continue to keep his job and do what Ryan Clark just said. Make a comfortable decision. Because you know what? I'm not really worried about my job, even though we're struggling and I'm underachieving. That is the I don't know how many times I have to educate people about what the hell is going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Someday y'all will get it.
Someday you will understand that the Dallas Cowboys are on a path to nowhere. And they have been that way for many, many years now. Their record would show that they haven't been relevant in nearly a quarter century. But I'm not going back that far. I don't want to be totally disrespectful because I happen to like Jerry Jones. What I would like to tell you instead is that when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, somehow, some way, someday, you're going to be forced to reach a very, very simple conclusion. They ain't going nowhere as long as Jason Garrett is their coach. Reaching the conclusion, finally you have awakened. Finally you have reached the resolution that somehow, some way, Jason Garrett's departure is the damn resolution. We have to find a way to get rid of this man. Finally. Here you come showing up to the
Clap for everything all the time. Missed field goal, clap. Pick six, clap. Missed extra point, clap. He's got the clap. The guy is a clapper.
Backwards with some of the most inexplicable play calling I can ever remember.
This tweet after the Cowboys lost to the Rams in the playoffs. Hey, Jerry Jones, about time for a coaching change, don't you think? To playoff wins in 10 years, Garrett isn't the answer and never will be. Way to compete.
He likes him like a son. Guess what? He liked Tony Romo like a son too.
Yep.
And he had to get rid of him at some point.
Yep.
So why not?
So the rumors persist that Jerry would go get Sean Payton from New Orleans. And would I love that? I'm signing off. If you can explain to me how that's possible, you're way ahead of me because I can't figure out the reality.
Exactly.
He's got 2 more years under contract. You would have to trade for Sean Payton.
And you ain't got no first rounder.
You don't have one this year, but would you trade that? Because they would want
some future first round.
They might want 2 future first
John
rounds.
Madden went for 3.
He did.
And it should be done. If there's any way that this could be worked out, I would take a stab at it. Do you not think a Sean Payton Cowboy team would do better than a Garrett?
But let me tell you the difference between Sean Payton and Jason Garrett. The final say of the final 53 will be Sean Payton.
And guess what? The proof is in the pudding. His resume speaks for itself.
It was in the pudding with Jimmy. It was in the pudding with Bill Parcells. They said we are.
Things have changed, and I'm sure.
You believe Jerry Jones has changed?
I think if the right people get in his ear to make this happen, it will happen.
I agree. And Jerry is not getting any younger, and I think he sees that he's got a shot.
There were people that got in his ear to get rid of me, and it happened.
Yeah. I can't believe it, but I completely concur.
You gonna fire him like
I would have fired him
3 years.
Yeah, I fired him 17 times.
My thing is,
Fire Jason because Jason's not the coach. Because Jerry gets the coach without taking any of the blame.
It's like Skip Bayless said, Mr. Jones, you are not getting any younger. We all come to a crossroad in our life where we all have to swallow our pride and face the truth. Me and you know the truth, Mr. Jones. You understand all of the advancements that I've made to the Dallas Cowboy team over the last year. We won't go into detail about it, long as me and you know what's going on. You understand the improvements that I've already brought to the team. You tried the best you could, Mr. Jones, but it's been a quarter century. As you can see, the world understands that this atrocity has to end. I can still get you out of this right now. I can have you hoisting the Super Bowl trophy in Miami in February. I can make that happen for you right now, but you gotta come and get me now while training camp's going on so we can install about 8 plays that the team's gonna have to understand and know. You guys do a good job for most of the game, but when the game gets critical, that's when you'll have Kellen Moore and Garrett call upstairs to me, and I'll make sure the team's in the right formation for the down and distance, for the situation that's on the field. The correct formation and the correct play call will be into the game. I'll be that eye in the sky that you don't have. I will be that sniper play caller consultant that you don't have, Mr. Jones. I can put you in this year's Super Bowl. Trust what I'm saying and make your move and come and get me, but you got to do it now. I can end this atrocity for you, and you can keep Jason Garrett right there. You keep all of the people in place. I can end this for you. I can end this nightmare for you right now, and you can keep everybody you got. Just trust the Delaney certified correct playbook, Mr. Jones. Come get me right now. Make your move on me right now. And this will be over. I will end this nightmare for you right now, Mr. Jones, and I'll have you hoisting the Super Bowl trophy down in Miami. That's a guarantee. It's a promise. All you got to do is come get me. I got your back, bro.
Was on a podcast I was listening to yesterday, one of the Raider podcasts. If Jason Garrett got fired, who's hiring him? What's his next job? See the head coach at Princeton, his alma mater? There's no NFL teams making him the head coach. I'm not certain what NFL team is lining up to make him an offensive coordinator.
Remember, you cannot win a football game in the National Football League if your coach doesn't understand how to outcoach the other team's coach. You're gonna lose. As I always say, see you next time.
Garrett is at the top of my list. Jason Garrett is at the top of my list, make no mistake about it, no question about it, because this man should be out of the job as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He is not the man for that job. He's proven it time and time again. His play calling, his lack of leadership. I consider Jason Garrett two things: a cheerleader and a relative puppet for Jerry Jones. Elite.
My thing is, they should have been looking at Jason Garrett's job. Even when they had Tony Romo, when they had a better team, they had a better chance of winning the Super Bowl. And people would question, should they have made the move then? And I would be in that group. Like, this is long, long overdue with the lack of playoff success that the Cowboys have had.
I want to thank the National Football League, NFL Network, ESPN, CBS Sports, Fox Sports, Undisputed, ABC Sports, NBC Sports, YouTube, and NFL Primetime Music, First Take, and First Things First. I also want to thank Sound FX. All of these affiliates have been named for any video coverage that you see on the Delaney Certified Correct Playbook.
For joining in. See you next time.
Thank you.